All right, I'm just starting the recording. Something, Mayhem on Mandril, something, season 4, episode 18. Last we left off, what did we even do last week? Help.
We hit level 11.
That's definitely not true.
No, I remember that, and
I'm being gaslit.
we
I'm being
immediately.
gaslit. I'm being gaslit. I'm being gaslit. I'm being gaslit. We had meetings. We made plans. We fought a fake Gorgon. I think that was it. We fought
I
a
showed up
fake
late and I
Gorgon.
was dying.
You were thrown into the
That's
Gorgon
actually,
pit.
and that was how he earned level 11 with all
Incorrect.
of us.
Incorrect. We discussed Lucine. We discussed Fire Temple. And
Yeah.
now it's time that we move on. Things are happening.
There was a meeting with everyone, talked about stuff and things, and then Malachite talked to Drya, and I tuned it out.
And I didn't check any levels, but they look fine. So I'm just
We're fine.
my
Everything's
meter's fine. Everybody else's meter is normally fine. I can hear everybody fine, so I'm gonna say we're good. All right, here's what's happening. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday, September 17th, 1632. Is today a fair day to begin our micro journey expedition? Is this acceptable? Okay, cool.
I agree with that.
You still have a week to prepare for Ravenna's ball, and things are in motion with Orion.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I can before we begin discussing some of what's happening today and walking through what you would have planned out in the past 2 days, I can go over some updates that I have for you if you so desire on that.
I'll think about writing them down.
I have them written down, so you don't have to. But would you like me to feed you little breadcrumbs regarding that, or should we just do this? Just do a one-off, get this thing done.
What do you mean?
I mean, I have information I could give you regarding stuff going on in Lucine, but we don't have to go over that now. Or we could.
I'd say whoever is reporting this to us would give us the most time-sensitive ones, so you could give us the most time-sensitive one.
All right, there's 2 things that are not time sensitive. Orion has been scouting for optimal targets to hit while theoretically Grodger is at the ball, which he is working on finding him a means of getting there under a faux identity. 2 easy candidates. Gingle, leader of House Tiana, not invited to the party, and Lord Eamon Blackthorn, who is responsible for the deaths of 3 of your fellow revolutionaries, Tommy Oliver and Wilhelm and Ronan Masaski, who both died at his hands, according to sources. Gingle is throwing his own party at a venue named Bulwark Hall in the Gold Quarter of Lucine proper in East Upper Lucine. And Aemon Blackthorn is meeting, allegedly, at a yet-to-be-determined location from Orion's network with one Martin de Lumiere. Topic, unknown. Other individuals at this clandestine meeting, unknown. But he will be away from the public eye, and Gingle will be very much in the public eye, but at a much lower security venue. This is all.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of those places, but
It's written down, so it doesn't matter that much. I have it in my funny little document. I can even put it down somewhere. But currently, it is mixed with information that I have that your characters and Orion does not have yet. So I have to dole the information out carefully. Because there's sort of a
Yeah.
discovery system that I'm working on. There's an event, and then there's what your network is able to uncover about the event, and they are two different things, you see. So, chucking that out there. Now, shall we move on to the matter at hand on this fabulous Friday? Where's Aramaeus? This guy wanted to come along. Your party is theoretically attempting to voyage to Mount Uprisma to discover one of two things, which are different. One, a fire temple managed by what was only been referred to as a society of elders, or two, an old dwarven forge. They may be in the same place, they may be in different places in the mountain range, unknown. But the key point to begin the investigation is somewhere around Mount Uprisma, the only active volcano. It is directly northeast of you, and it is probably like 30 miles. So the first question, yes.
So this was going to be my suggestion, and I want to say this would have been done in character.
Probably. Yes.
Because it would have been done probably the day prior. To keep us from making a fruitless mission, I think Malachi would have asked some of the wizards what they knew about the forge. Like, would you say that dwarven forge at this time is considered like a legend or lore of some kind?
Aramaeus is probably the most knowledgeable one about that. I will tell you, no member of the oh my gosh, Sorcerers of Mayhem had any clue about any kind of dwarven anything going on under Mount Uprisma. None.
Yes. Yes. But that's more so I know what I'm asking as a player. I'm trying to figure out a way to ask it in session without. So there's a spell called Legend Lore. In which, if you know the name of some kind of mystical item or place or something, you will get some information about it.
Well, that I don't know if that will help you, because I don't know if anybody has a proper noun name that they can recite for it.
So,
because I mean that's what you would need. Why don't you? I'm thinking, because this might boil down to like one or two rolls. Jacob, do you have Vesper's character sheet accessible?
Yeah.
Why don't you and Malachi roll either history or investigation for me?
Okay.
Let's start.
Do you have this spell up, by the way?
Dirty 20.
I do not have Legend Lore up currently, but I am familiar with it.
Okay, because you can name or describe a famous person, place, or object.
Oh, okay. I've never cast it, so.
So you say history?
Yes, history or investigation. Because this will effectively be you the day prior consulting with the Sorcerers of Mayhem and with Aramaeus in the history documents.
14.
Okay, a 14 on history or investigation?
History.
Okay, and a dirty 20 on...
History.
Okay, cool. So, consulting with the scholars available in your camp, which include the resident old men of Sage and Osnek, as well as resident historian of Aramaeus and Vesper with his various papers, and Malachi attempting to recall what he knows of what he has been taught in his formal education. If there's a dwarven forge there, the investigation begins with the conclusion that it would have to be something that existed either before or during the Dragon Wars. For those of you who know your history, that places this forge as being extremely, extremely ancient, because the dwarves avoided most of the Dragon Wars pre Elebar, or rather in what is called, I think, the Age of Elebar, so AE. The Dragon Wars ended. They took about 400 years. They ended in 1600 AE, which is 3,200 years ago. So 3,200 years ago. It's about equal the distance from when Licinius and Maurilius took reign. It's the same distance from there from where you guys are today. So if you jump back 1,600 years, that's when Licinius and Maurilius took over. You jump back another 1,600 years, that's when the Dragon Wars ended. During the Dragon Wars, dwarves were all over the place and very reclusive. And they had a lot of different lore and a lot of different factions, many of which their names have been lost or their histories not quite kept. Much of that history wandered off north with the dwarves of Fairmain, who are the actual lore keepers of that dwarven heritage. Aramaeus has not been to Fairmain. Very few people have been to Fairmain. It's extremely difficult to get to. They may know the proper noun name of the place, but as you continue investigating, you probably have enough where you could accurately describe what this forge would be. Aramaeus is able to describe, as well as Osnek, and you all recall that the dwarves learned much of their smithcraft from the giants. What specific giants depends on the region and the specific lore. The word that's at the very least key for beginning this investigation is not forge or smith, but foundry. You are attempting to investigate an ancient dwarven foundry at Mount Uprisma. That word has a strong connection to the old smiths and forges heralded by the giants, who then passed on their craft to the dwarven foundries. If there's anywhere to start, that word would get you closest to the approximation of what you're looking for. Now note, this is completely separate from the Fire Temple. This is a completely separate thing. They may be connected somewhat, particularly because as you're studying, there are potential interactions for dwarves learning their craft from fire giants, potentially storm giants, or any manner of giants. Theoretically, fire giants are the master craftsmen that carried that mantle. So, Fire Temple, fire giants, could all be related. You do not have a proper noun. You do know that one of the key words you're looking for in the annals of history to describe what this place would have been is a dwarven foundry.
Do we go to the archives or have someone at the archives look for us?
You could do that. I mean, it would take a day, but you could do it. Do you wish to?
I was also going to say that one dwarf who had like a bit of information about Roger. His name was also Roger Griff. No, not Griff.
McAdam.
His name was also Roger. Yes. He knew a little bit about, more specifically, was it the Ember?
Yes. He could describe that to you.
Yes.
And that would be something that you would actually be able to hone in on legend lore.
That's more what I was thinking.
You could do that. It wouldn't necessarily... It would give you useful information, but it wouldn't help you find it. Because if you get lore about a place, you might divine clues related to finding that place. If you get lore about an object, that object could be lost in the place where it is, and you would be no closer to finding it. But you may know more about it.
Yeah, it does say, okay, so the more information we already know about the thing, the more precise and detailed information. So since that's the one we might have the most information on, we might get more precise and detailed information about the Ember.
Or you might hear sad musical notes played on a trombone and the spell fails.
I may, yes, yeah.
Wah, wah, wah. That's the
Yes,
dumbest
I
thing ever.
But it is a ritual. No, is it not a ritual spell?
No.
Like,
And it's 5th level. It's pricey.
uh, well, I guess we could go with the foundry.
Technically, you
Wait.
can do both. It's just 2 level 5 spell slots is the cost.
I was gonna
And
ask
the worst
too,
that
like,
happens is they just each fail.
hold on. You know what's a famous place? Mount Uprisma.
Mount Uprisma is a famous place with thousands of years of history. That would also be an interesting gamble.
You cast Legend Lore, it just gives you like a 3-day long spiel constantly playing in your head and like
Or it
describes
might,
how mountains form.
or it might give you a 10,000-foot view.
Yeah, well, I'll just hook in my my earbuds and listen to Legend Lore podcast. And,
Uh-huh. You can't.
I can,
Can you cast Legend Lore, or is this you're deferring to Osnek?
I'm deferring to. It's above me, but I've researched the spell.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Are we attempting all 3? Foundry, Ember, and Uprisma?
Sure. Maybe there's some point at intersection. It'll help.
Okay. Which would you
'Cause we're
like?
not-
Which would
We're
you
not
like?
we're doing this the day before, so it's not
Yeah,
like
no, this would be on like the Thursday. So like Wednesday, you got information, you fought the Gorgon, whatever. You set Orion off with his network gathering info, and in the meantime, you're prepping to see how feasible it is to go get this Ember. So on Thursday, this is what you're doing. What shall we start with?
let's do the foundry. Big money, big money.
Okay. Dwarven Foundry. What should I even roll for this? Is a roll even necessary? I somewhat think that it is not. And
Ooh.
given that you already rolled the history, I think I'll just go with what we have, which is on the basis of a 20 and a 14. So what's going to be weird? Oh, you can't can you cast Detect Thoughts, Malachi? You're telepathic, right?
I'm not telepathic. I'm getting there.
Okay.
But I can cast Detect Thoughts.
So you can sort of use Osnek as the podcast station and tune into his broadcast as he receives the legend lore. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, does he not say it out loud? Does it not get said out loud?
I don't think it. I mean, he could, sure. But I imagine that the revelation is going to be kind of fast and very sensual. Not the type of thing
Sensual?
that's like, yeah, as in relying on the senses.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy, calm down.
I'm gonna fuck that mountain.
Meaning
I was
that,
like, oh my god.
just meaning,
What is it? What is
just
this
meaning,
podcast?
I don't think he's gonna get a 5-paragraph droning of words that he can just repeat and have written down. I think it's gonna be a little bit more wishy-washy, per se. Some details may be clear, others maybe not. All right. Osnek begins by formulating as detailed a question in the spell as he can regarding the Dwarven Foundry on Mount Uprisma. And he begins inquiring about the place, whether such a foundry exists, and its properties, its details, what is known about it, and what has been lost. And images and words begin to flash in his mind and are transmitted to yours. The first thing you see is the Dragon Wars, with a number of opponents, red and black dragons in plethora, as well as silver dragons on their other side, and armies of giants. Fire giants fighting on the side of the red and black giants. And giants of other kinds, perhaps hill giants. I don't think storm giants. What even are all the giant types? There's one I'm thinking of.
Hill, cloud,
Not
storm,
cloud, not storm. Maybe that is it.
rock.
Frost giants. Yeah, no. That's it. Okay, yeah, it's hill giants and fire giants. That's it. And they are on the side of the dragons.
You
And
said that was rock?
what? No,
Wait, which one? Frost?
no, just hill and fire.
Okay.
I wish somebody could. I can't type and talk. I literally need a stenographer.
I am doing that currently.
Okay, great. Please do. So, hill and fire giants on the sides of red and black dragons. You're sort of thrust through this battlefield as you make your way over to Mount Uprisma. This is a battle taking place on a somewhat different version of the plains north of Cairo, which are to this day largely a wasteland, not much other than dirt and steppe. Not a ton of life, not completely hospitable, but certainly not green and grassy and beautiful. And you sort of pan over towards the mountain range, approaching the hearth, and you begin to hear the sounds of a war machine. Deep in the heart of Mount Uprisma is not a dwarven foundry, but a fire giant foundry. Far under the active volcano, using the hearth of the volcano itself as an active means of forging. Channels of lava flowing, or magma, I don't remember which is which because it doesn't reach the surface. I believe it's going to be magma.
It's magma because it's inside.
Not yet exposed, but being channeled in these massive stone contraptions to forge horrifying plates of monstrously large armor. And all throughout the forge are scattered a number of dwarves. But as time begins to pass, the number of fire giants dwindle. The forges begin falling into disrepair as the wars come to an end. The fire giants come to a near extinction, until eventually the dwarves are the only ones left to run the forge, they themselves having mostly avoided the war, but learned everything they could from the fire giants. They take the knowledge that they have, and they move. And what's left of the forge is buried, somewhat intentionally, as things are caved in, and they take the various tools, and they loot everything, and they up and leave, and they make their way elsewhere. And the forge sits actively in disrepair, buried by rubble under the active volcano to this day. Hey, look, it's a John.
Blow them up with lasers.
Hello.
I don't have that ability
Hello.
currently.
How awful does it sound?
Not terrible, not great.
It's
It's like you're holding a solo cup over your mouth.
Yeah.
AirPods audio.
Wow.
What's in this cup?
Nice.
I'm in the truck with Nick.
What's in your cup?
I don't know, weed.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So you're in the trunk of Nick?
I'm in the truck with Nick.
You're in the trunk with Nick. Who's driving?
Charlie, he's taking
Yeah,
them
that's
out to
right.
the desert to bury them.
We're passing man asses.
Oy vey.
That's a place.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to pass some dumb fries.
Incredible.
So how's D&D going?
It's going good. It's going good. Currently, Malachi is using Osnek to channel legend lore so that he can listen to history podcasts.
Oh,
So it's going pretty good. He just learned a ton of information.
Huh.
All right, so you got that all down?
I sent it to you already.
I don't even see it. It did not come up anywhere.
You use a scroll. Do you need to be able to cast a spell at that level?
Yeah. I don't remember.
You just have to do an Arcana check to see if you can cast.
Oh yeah, that.
So I was just gonna say we could pay for supplies for Osnek to make scrolls for Malachi.
Could. It would almost be more work than the current setup, but it would be possible so that you can just do this in the future without having to use him as a broadcasting station.
We won't have to do it for now, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to have it when you go, especially when we're searching for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, well, your first legend lore has gone through. What's next?
We learned a lesson.
Ember or Uprisma?
This was about the Forge, not Uprisma.
No,
Okay,
this was about the Foundry. You said start with the Foundry.
Very good. We will do Uprisma.
All right, history of Uprisma incoming.
Actually, well, I guess we still should. I just kind of get the sense from what we heard. If we're looking for dwarves, because they looted stuff, it might be better to look for them rather than this, but they might have left one behind. So let's do Uprisma.
All right, Uprisma. Immediately, flashes of Elabar and Durango arguing. Durango from the earth molds the volcano into existence. You see flashes of Elabar's departure, and the entirety of the surface of Mandril is coated in fire, and a red, horrifying glow is emanating from the entirety of Mount Uprisma. But this era washes away. You see Durango is killed, and slowly things begin to recover. Nature regrows. Things crawl out of holes, including dwarves and humans and all manner of other species. And Mount Uprisma is left as one of the only scars that Durango cast on the land, but it still holds a strong energy in the public consciousness as a thing to be feared. It also is strongly connected to the elemental plane of fire.
Nice.
Oh, there they are. Oh, I just didn't get a ping for it because I was already in the chat. That's why. All right, ready for the Ember?
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
it's not.
Rude.
It's not famous.
So we hear bum, 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 bum,
No,
bum.
no. You hear, okay, there's this really, how do I pull this up? It is not worth my time to pull up this bit, but there's a specific horn sound that I wanted to make, and it's important. What is it? Just give me a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody has to have clipped this. Yeah. No, this isn't it. What is it? What is it from Dark Souls 3? Donkey Dark Souls 3.
The trumpet guys from Elden Ring.
No, it's he goes up to hit a wall and he goes, that means this is an invisible wall, and it goes wah wah wah, but on trumpets. But it's not like the normal womp womp womp. It's fantastic. Oh, is this it?
That there is a wall. No!
That. Wah 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 wah.
I didn't hear anything at all.
What?
I heard it, but my audio was very quiet.
Oh, well, it was coming from the stream, so it'll be in the recording. You can. I'll just link it.
It might be from one of the Mario games.
I have no clue. This is the only video I have ever heard it in. Means there is an invisible wall.
Visible wall ahead. So that means that there is a water. No!
Okay, that's it. Legend lore complete. Your legend has been lored.
Yeah, I was scribbling everything.
Mm-hmm.
I did this. So that's not what I got.
All right, now what?
Well, I just heard a good podcast. I'm gonna take a shower and go to bed.
Okay, all right, sounds good. And that's a wrap for Thursday.
All right, see you guys next Sunday.
Yep. How are you gonna get there? Well, where are you going now? Now that you have this information, where are you going on Friday?
I mean, the dwarves in our camp, they don't know of any other dwarven civilization.
Oh, they know about the dwarven civilization, and
They
there's an
they
offshoot.
can get us in there.
Well, theoretically, yeah, maybe. There's no dual citizenship. Let me put it that way. When you leave, you're gone. You would very much approach on equal footing as foreigners. And therefore, the favor that you would be able to gain may be extremely limited.
It's less so about that, but more like, do they know where the heck we're going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they know exactly. It's just very far away. Elithor is currently the closest to them. And even he's very far away. Because they're on the other side of the Great Lake. Of Lake Ilion. I guess they're up here. They're in Fairmain. So you guys are maybe like 150 miles away from them? So, yeah.
I'm a little terrified, but I feel like Uprisma is very promising. Oh, we didn't do a legend lore on well, we missed a chance, but we could have done the Society of Elders.
You could have done the Society of Elders. If you want Osnek to burn a level 5 on a Friday, he can still do it.
Nah, I already said the day's done.
Well, that's what I'm saying, on Friday.
Ooh, no, not Friday. We might need him to come rescue us if something goes
If
wrong.
something goes bad.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
yeah, let's just check out Mount Uprisma. Yeah, what could go wrong? Ticket clear.
Well, yeah, Sable.
And yeah, let's get ourselves a good little fighting force in case.
Mm-hmm.
People who are good with water.
People who are good with water. Who's good with water?
Hint, hint. Someone who can kill mega fishes.
Make a fish kill.
I mean, yeah, you can bring him. He may be somewhat incorporeal, but you can bring him along. Another cleric will never hurt.
We're using him as a spell battery while he's not here.
Real. Now,
Yeah.
the question is, how are you getting there?
Okay. So from where we are,
Mm-hmm.
what's the estimated distance?
Like 50. Well, 30, 35 miles, not factoring in elevation. Because, I mean, the base of the mountain and the top of the mountain are, very different things. Base of the mountain, 33, 30, 32 miles. I mean, you can see it. It's just there. Like, if you can fly, it's a breeze.
With legend lore, both Osnick and I have seen it.
Oh, yeah. You also, in a sense, you can physically look at it and just go, yeah, but I want to go there. Like, there's technically nothing stopping you from just teleporting to the base of the mountain.
No, that's what I'm saying. We've seen it. Oh,
yeah.
The base.
Even before the vision, you're just looking at it. You can just be like, yeah, I know where that is.
Now, it's pretty far away, so I wanted to have more detail. Well, yeah, I just imagined we would teleport there anyway. I would have Osnick teleport us, though.
But then he would be with you.
No, then he would leave.
He would teleport you there and then leave, and then you would teleport back?
Mm-hmm.
With the amulet? Okay, yeah, you can do that. That's feasible. That could be arranged. Is there anybody else you want to bring to this crew?
But now we got 7 people.
You could bring a dwarf. But, the more important of a dwarf you bring...
I don't know, because the dwarves, I kind of need them for the forge.
Right.
I don't want, if anything happens to one of them, it's like, nah, I think we'll be all right.
Indeed.
Oh, we should have somebody who speaks Dwarvish, in case anything there is written in Dwarvish.
Probably true.
Does anybody read Giant?
Gosh.
I got Sylvan.
Let me check Aramaeus' character sheet. I haven't opened his character sheet in a long time. What do you speak?
No. I can read all writing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you do got magics for that theoretically.
I can read all writing. Should be okay.
Both Sable and Thaloran just have Celestial in common.
And Aramaeus just speaks Common and Draconic, so...
What a loser.
Yeah.
Wait, for a traveling salesman,
I
should be
speak to gods and losers only.
You know what? That's the whole gamut of life.
Yeah. Gods and losers.
Vesper knows Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Infernal, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant.
Yeah. He coming along or nah?
Wasn't planning on it. He's his proficiencies and training section is very amusing. It's got a lot of stuff in there. Cartographer's tools, disguise kit, dragon chest set, forgery kit, playing card set, thieves tools.
Well, we can bring up to 3 other people. So
we have the graduates being prepared for the ball.
Of course, yes.
He's balling.
He's balling, if you will.
So what about Detroit?
Your scout? You could bring Scout Detroit. Where is he? Where does he live? I don't even know.
Is he not in the Nick tent?
No, the Nick tent doesn't exist anymore.
The Nick tent.
I think he's probably just not on the map because he would be in Genesis. You can bring him.
Maybe I don't want him.
I honestly do not know almost anything about him. I don't know if he has a real character sheet yet still. I think he does, but for the longest time he didn't, and he hasn't been used in a long time. He is real. He's also level 3. But he is okay, he's gone. He is a scout.
Well, my one concern is from a meta level, if this continues, then Nick would have someone to play. So we could bring him along.
It was reasonable. Any other contenders?
Let's bring Ziglash.
Not real.
Oh, darn.
Not a real guy. You could bring Goon Balloon.
Okay, we'll bring Good Balloon.
He died. Can't do it.
Please no.
Need
Please,
true
no.
resurrection. He's dead. Is this the group?
I don't know. It might just be a small elite group.
Mm-hmm. An
We
elite
have
task force.
Cagliari for representation. So
Representation?
I mean, non-human, female,
Uh-huh.
and whatever she identifies as.
Right.
So
Undead.
Yeah, that's my sexuality.
My sexuality is dead.
well, she was asking for a wife last time, so I know she's somewhere.
Right.
So, representation where she got everything covered. We're like a
Right.
CW team right now.
Right.
Oh no, I'm gonna die first.
The representation character hitting the grinder, being chopped into bits. Oh, horrifying. Okay. All right, so Osnick is teleporting out to the base of the mountain.
Why the base? Can we not go to the top?
Well, you can certainly try. It's in sight.
Cut to us tumbling down a mountain.
All right, could we not? Okay, is there a way to is there any plateaus or anything we can see, or no?
Somebody's gonna have to roll perception. It's gonna be tough.
I'm readying the help action.
Also, let me confirm something. Can you even see it? Well, I mean, you'll be able to see it.
This is why we brought the Troyet.
It
for
is a
perception.
mountain, but I don't actually think you can see the base of the mountain because of the curvature of the earth, which is funny.
Curvature of the earth.
Earth.
Oh, so it got curves like that? It built like that?
It is built like that. It is.
Oh, no,
It is round.
Thaloran
Okay.
has +12 to perception. That ties Vesper. What a guy. He'll probably have to take his blindfold off, though.
Yeah, let's get that perception check. I will apply the help action.
We shove Thaloran out in front. Make him look. With his Azamar eyes.
Yeah, what does he see?
Wait, am I supposed to roll for this guy?
I can't roll for him.
Hold on. I'm actually doing math right now
Okay.
to make sure that you can you can see. Yeah, this is very interesting. You cannot see the base of the mountain, but it is tall. So you can see probably half of it, like a good chunk of it. I did not think about the curvature of the earth playing into your effect to see things 30 miles away, but that is super, super real. That is super real and very
We
cool.
just need to get.
That's crazy. That's crazy because we all believe the world is flat. So
Not true.
We need to get
Not
a
true.
Lord of the Rings elf in here where they don't see the curvature of the planet,
Gosh, no.
which is why they can see miles away.
All of your characters know that the earth is not flat.
They're taking the hobbits to
Blasphemy.
Isengard.
Who told me this?
The scholars at the Magic Academy who studied the constellations and understand how to do trigonometry.
We did this before Galileo?
Yes.
Okay.
They figured out. They
The-
figured out the curve. They figured out.
Really early. The Greeks,
like
the
ancient
Greeks figured out
Egyptians.
the curvature. Well, I mean, I'm not kidding. Pythagoras figured out that the earth was round using the Pythagorean theorem. It's not a joke. And that's Greece.
Pythagoras is a bitch for coming up with that shit.
All right, I'm rolling perception with advantage as the Lord. Oh my gosh, +12. You're right. Okay. Holy crap. I rolled a nat 20 and a 4.
It's 12.
So I got a 32. So, dang, it's a shame he's not here to see it. The Lauren just peers out at the mountain and he says, yeah, there's a little flat part near the top. Yeah.
He would say it like that.
That's
It
it.
kind of indicates it, points it out.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's right there. Nobody else can see what the hell he's talking about. See, like right there on the left, like it kind of curves over, and then it's this little spot there. It's like a little ledge. I mean, it's probably a really big ledge, but you know, right there.
Yeah. Got it. It's locked away.
Locked in. Great.
Yeah.
Good.
And does he have like a laser pointer?
No, those haven't been invented yet, tragically. We know the Earth is round. We do not have laser pointers. I know. True disparity.
I just don't want my cat to see the laser pointer and chase it off the plateau.
Right. 32 miles.
Okay, well, nothing to it but to do it.
All right, well, you know what this means. Gonna go into my playground.
Road trip.
Everybody go into the playground that I made for this purpose today. It's a sandbox for me to kill you in. That's a joke.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Aramea.
Allegedly.
Who was number 6? Oh, yeah, Thorn.
Hey, don't count the Lauren out. He's that guy.
There we go. All right, you're teleporting?
We're being teleported, yes.
You're being teleported by Osnek. Great.
By Osnek.
Osnek. All right, Osnek comes over. He teleports you to the nearest area. I'm going to roll a D100 because this is going to go super well. Shazam. Ooh, nice. Now I got to pull it up and see what range that's in. I'm pretty sure that's the second best range or the second worst range. I don't remember. Ooh, it's actually... No, it's literally totally fine. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. No. Yeah, uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Narp.
Yep.
Narp.
This might suck. Ooh. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with the tactical DM. Nah. I can put it in this category, and then it's on target. Yeah, that's not that's not unreasonable. That's reasonable. I find this to be reasonable. All right, Osnek teleports you there. You find yourself on a plateau in a very, very different environment. It is kind of hot. The air does not smell good. It smells like a whole lot of sulfur. And there's just this sort of rumbling off in the distance. The ground isn't shaking, but oh boy, this is a strange, arid place. It feels much more like a desert than it did up there. A brief look around reveals that you are in fact looking back out south at your plateau, the Chiral Plateau, which is in fact quite beautiful from this angle. You can see the little ridge that you're on. Actually, can you? Can you say that? Yeah, you can, because you're at a high elevation. But really, the whole plateau looks like a tiny, pathetic thing from here. It's dwarfed by the relative size of the mountain upon which you all now stand. Osnek says, well, very well, you all scan your surroundings. There doesn't seem to be anything going on immediately. There are some dead trees.
I want to say in our prep the night before, we'd have taken like essentials for this.
Surely.
We're just kind of skipping through.
Yep.
Do you think we had any potions?
It depends on the potion, but it wouldn't be unreasonable.
Like a few little healing potions, just in case.
Little baby healing potions? Yeah, you can have like 2 little baby healing potions. Those are not terribly expensive. Vanna can arrange those for you.
Okay.
Vanna.
Vanna Barone.
Vanna Barone.
I don't know why that name sticks in my head.
I don't know. It's kind of a good name, though.
Lodged in there.
Don't even know where it comes from. Don't know why
I
it
think
exists.
it's one of mine.
It's entirely possible. I think you just went to town on that document and made a few little creatures. And that might have been one of them. But, you know, she's
Like
mine now.
Grack. I like Grack.
Grack. Crunkmeyer.
Grunkmeyer, my
Classic.
guy.
Classic. All right. So, your surroundings do not convey immediate danger. However, let me just check some passives real quick.
We are safe.
The Lauren looks over and goes, "Holy crap, that's a big bird's nest." And
Huh?
in the middle of a giant tree, essentially devoid of life, in fact, is a really, really freaking big bird's nest.
Yeah, okay, love that for us.
Made straight into the tree that's just sort of hanging off the side of a cliff on the plateau, just chilling. Maybe not that light. Let's just go like this. And if you had to surmise, you may recall having encounters with some large birds at some point. Particularly, I believe, didn't you encounter a rock at one point, ROC? I'm pretty sure you did. But you know what?
Sure.
Don't even worry about it. This appears to be the nest of a giant eagle. It is not currently occupied. There are no other immediate signs of life.
Shoot, no one here has prestidigitation.
First of all, not true.
Avnik is still here.
No, Aramaeth is here.
Oh,
Aramaeth is a
I'm-
9th level bard.
I need him to kind of make us smell bad to other creatures.
Oh, you intend to ward off prey?
What it is?
Yes.
Well, oh, yes. I mean, yeah, well, yes. We are the prey. We are warding ourselves. Yes. That can be arranged. I don't particularly want to smell horrendous, but yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know. Would you rather be snapped up?
What if we just smell spicy? Isn't that why spices are spicy? So they don't get eaten?
It's also fair. It's worth a shot.
All right. Well, I guess it's time for us to be spicy.
Mm.
All right. Can I do this on everybody? Doesn't say I can. Just says magical effect within range. It's not concentration. It don't got no material component. So everybody's gonna smell spicy for an hour. All right. Well, Osnick says, "Well, if we are all set, I think I should be making my way back."
Mm-hmm.
Toodaloo. He despawns. Disconnects from the lobby.
I was gonna
Does
say
he
I give
smell
him-
spicy?
No.
I was
Darn.
gonna give him the predator handshake before he.
Well, he's gone. He already toodalooed you.
I was
So it's
extending
over.
my hand for it when he poofed out.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
I awkwardly rubbed my other arm.
All right.
You got left hanging with a toodaloo.
Well, I suppose we should begin our journey. I don't imagine we'll encounter much manner of life here, although the bird nest surprises me.
I'd like to say, Aramaeth, I've learned in our time adventuring, let's not say things like that.
Oh, bad omen, you think?
Yes.
Well, yes. Very well.
Somewhere out there is a very strange arbiter of the universe.
A warden, if you will. A warden in which we are all his prisoners.
Alright, don't have too much fun with it.
All right. Well, you're on a plateau. A few hundred feet beneath the summit of a very hot volcano. It is about 80 degrees.
How does Sable look in all this? Like, I know this isn't like his. I don't imagine he's done this kind of adventuring.
Well, I don't know. He may be dead. Wait.
Sable!
Sable's dead.
We lost you so early! He was my best friend. I say to the camera.
I think he's back.
Okay.
I've
So,
lost most audio, so I am kind of lost as to where we are.
you are
we-
at an active volcano looking for a dwarven foundry or a fire temple.
And I was wondering, like, how Sable looks as we get to this place. I don't imagine he's done this kind of thing.
Probably drenched in sweat.
In full plate, right? Or what does he wear?
Hello?
Yeah?
Hey!
Hello?
Oh.
He's dead again. It's bad.
Sable's probably drenched in sweat. I don't think I have anything to help with heat.
I prestidigitate coolness? Minor sensation.
Oh.
I can chill. Oh, non-living
Oh.
material.
You can chill his armor.
I could chill his armor. I could chill all of our clothes. 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour. It does not say there's a limit on how many things I can prestidigitate. It just lasts for an hour and that's it. I can just do it. This is busted. Well, I guess Arameath is gonna chill everybody's clothes so that we're not completely dying up here.
I feel like there is a limit that you're missing.
I don't know where it is. I'm looking at this.
I don't know about you, but I'm cold and spicy.
At the same time.
Alright, so I imagine we, how does it look? Is it like, rock climbing kind of vibe, or?
It's gonna be that to get off the plateau, and then it's a steep incline, but it's pretty much gonna be acrobatics or athletics to get to the summit, which is what you're trying to do, I'm presuming?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where we're at. It is, in fact, a rock climbing type vibe.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Arameath is going to pull out his rope and pythons from his backpack, and say, well, I'm not exactly sure if we're going to need these, but I've brought them along.
We will.
I myself am quite dexterous, but free climbing is, well, it is a task. I am quite spry. I think I could scale at least this wall, get us a preliminary pathway. I have, in fact, climbed Mount Duchess. This is not my first adventure, although the climate was nearly the exact opposite. At very least, we will not be slipping around. No ice, or frostbite, or eerie wind that whispers. Oh, by the way, did I show you those runes? I did. I'm assuming that he probably got those to you at some point. So I'm actually gonna just say, did you get a chance to read those translations I had handed to you?
If he gave them to me, I would have read them.
Cool. They're in a chat somewhere.
Info dump, I think, or no, I think it's lore.
Yes, it's in lore. Sable also said he will cast Pass Without Trace, so things can't easily
Yeah.
find you.
I was about to say that.
Alright, well, Arameath is just going to start climbing things and rambling on about the runes that he found. And whether you're going to find anything similar, and start theorizing as to where this temple would be. And he rolls a...
no.
Yes?
Sorry. I know this is what we're doing right now. The runes there. That's what I translated, or he translated.
He translated that from the air temple
Okay.
at Mount Duchess. Because he's been to one of these before. He just didn't get anywhere with it. But there's a chance you encounter similar runes at the Fire Temple. If you find it. Being optimistic. Well, Eremath is climbing. Not particularly easily, but he gave an acrobatics check. He did acceptably okay.
I guess I'll climb too.
Acrobatics or athletics? Detroit is not doing fantastic. But
Do I
he's
get
not well.
do I get any bonuses for having hooves?
Do you get any minuses for having hooves?
It would how do you're fine, you got a 28, you don't need anything.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering.
Well, I was thinking mountain goats have a great time, but they're quadrupeds. I actually think ungulagrade legs on a biped is a really bad idea. But you know,
What?
I didn't.
What do you mean?
I didn't make the mythical Greek creature. The weird Greek people made it thousands of years ago. So I'm not gonna weigh in on it. I'm just gonna say
Citation
you
needed.
All right, I need acrobatics or athletics. I'll roll for Thaloran. Oh, he did bad. Oh, he did real bad. All right, he's struggling to climb. Eremath will point out how he can improve his approach, and he'll begin following a much easier path. Malachi makes it up with no problem, and you guys have started making your way up. Eremath is constantly talking while he's digging pythons into the ground, which I imagine Cagliari is just free climbing, not using the pythons whatsoever. But Eremath is like rigging ropes and clearing a path and making chalk marks in the rock and just constantly yapping on his way up. Going, so if one is to believe that the Wind Temple has anything to promise, then the Fire Temple also may be incredibly cryptic. But what I know about the Elders... and you can't even hear him because he's not facing you. He's climbing the mountain, so you only get like half of the words. But he seems very excited. And soon enough, you make your way up several hundred feet. And it gets hotter. And that is going to be the trend.
Gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish my ancestor were gold. Wait, are they gold dragons? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I almost wish my ancestor were a gold dragon.
Well,
Don't love the heat.
if we're pushing to the top, it's going to get rough. Cagliari is probably going to be the person navigating this the easiest and can forge ahead if she so desires, or can limit her pace to keep with the group.
Would they be making saving throws?
No, not currently.
Okay, then
There's-
I'll forge ahead.
I mean, there's always an innate danger in that what you're doing is dangerous, but Eremath is largely methodical, and pretty much he has been setting the pace. It just means that you're not going super fast.
I don't know how my aura of saving throw boosting manifests in game, but I assume I am aware of it in some way.
Probably, yeah. I don't know.
Like, you know, when I'm near people, they.
I'm sure you're consciously
Do better.
aware. Yes. Yes.
But
Well,
yeah, I mean, if
it
Okay.
gets to a point where the others need to take a break at a small outcropping, and Eremath begins to talk again and goes, "Is our goal just to simply peer into this active volcano and see what there is to see, or hope that we find something along the way? I mean, this is certainly an interesting expedition, but this is also, if we're trying to find the foundry, then down would be the more appropriate direction."
Eremath,
Yes,
save your strength.
I am doing my best.
Yes. Perhaps a little bit of silence. We're all sort of struggling through this together.
Indeed, except Cagliari, who is completely fine. It's 100 degrees.
Is she within 120 feet?
Probably. She's just 120 feet above you.
So I'll cast message and say, don't go too far away in case anything happens.
Affirmative.
What's your passive perception, Cagliari?
14.
Cool. There's an Aarakocra kind of just chilling on a ledge, maybe a few 100 feet away from you. He's a little bit higher up than you. He blended in with the rocks at first. He has a mixture of white and sort of this off-tan reddish feathers. But he is, in fact, looking at you.
Does message go both ways?
Yes,
can
it
respond.
does. You can respond.
Okay. Since I only said like one word in response, I'll fill the rest with, hey, there's a bird guy up here and he's looking at me. Like
again.
not
Is
like
he
like an Aarakocra.
friendly?
Well, I mean, he's not attacking me.
He is
He's
holding
over there.
He's holding a staff and is perched upon a ledge quite delicately.
I'll
Make some
wave.
small talk.
You wave. Okay. He nods his head. What's your passive insight?
14.
He nods his head. He's a little confused, but doesn't appear to be hostile. It's a little bit difficult to read his face because he is a bird, and so he effectively just has the head of an eagle. But he does leap off of his perch and begin flying over, not at a particularly fast rate, but approaching you.
Okay.
And at this point, the rest of the party would see him, but he is still about 100 feet above. And he stops about 30 feet away from you and perches himself on a ledge. And he whistles at you.
Oh. You go, girl.
It is not that.
Uh-huh.
He has a series of whistles and trills that he's carefully producing from his beak. It sounds vaguely like a bird call. Have you met any Aarakocra before, Cagliari?
Don't we have some in the
Mhm.
Have you met any, well, let's say this, non-integrated Aarakocra?
Do they come to cities? Because I mostly have ping pong between
Very
cities.
rarely will you ever find an Aarakocra of this nature in a human city.
Then I'm gonna say no.
You do not know what language he is speaking. He's definitely speaking a language. It might be Aarakocran. It might
Right.
not.
I'm just gonna say in common, like, hey, sorry, I don't speak that.
He tilts his head to the left, a little confused, and his eyes narrow. He switches his tongue to something that's a lot more clicky. That's definitely Aarakocra. It's a series of clicks, trills, a few squawks, none of it discernible to you.
I'll switch to Sylvan and say, is this any better? I'm still not understanding you.
He shakes his head.
I'll use Thieves' Cant to write something in code on the wall.
He's just gonna walk across the ledge effortlessly, look at your writing, lean his neck in, peer at it, look back at you, and then just squawk confused.
I'm just gonna shrug and point down at the group.
Yeah, he looks down too. He points at them, and then he turns his head back towards you.
I'm gonna point at Malachi specifically, and wiggle my fingers like casting magic, to hopefully communicate that Malachi can
Interesting.
use magic to talk to him.
Interesting. Okay, let me check something real quick.
Charades.
Okay. This is so strange. All right.
Yeah, this is actually a Mage Hunter Aarakocra, and I've just given him a target. He's about to.
Of course, of course. He will descend the cliff, floating down towards the group, and will again begin this time in Aarakocra, yet another time, and scan the group, standing there with his staff in his hands.
Well,
Ermaith is gonna say, does anybody speak Aarakocra?
hello?
Um,
Very well. It's fine. Malachi, would you like to speak to him?
what if we, I guess I pull out, like, I don't know how to ask if he has, like, written language.
This is all on. Would you wish to speak with him?
Oh, yes.
Very well. At least we can understand him. He casts comprehend languages, and he centers it on. Well, can he do this? Oh, wait a minute. Ew, I can't
Technically, he
do
can't.
it.
Technically,
Can't do it to other people.
can
This is
do
the
it.
dumbest thing ever.
it's a level 1.
Yeah,
Tongues.
fine. I don't have tongues. All right. All right. Well, then, fine. Let me begin with this. Ermaith goes up and tries to goad him to speak again, and the Aarakocra begins again speaking in his trills, clicks, and squawks. Ermaith says, he asks why we trespass on this land.
Good. Good start.
I am pantomiming.
Okay.
Can I minor illusion the forge? Like, make like a little miniature of forge and be like, looking for, so like my hands over my eyes, kind of looking for
Sure.
forge, and then change it from forge to like the ember based on the description.
Roll performance.
It is a 13.
Okay. He looks at you very confused, and quickly lets out a series of trills and squawks, to which Ermaith says, he says, you won't find any technology like that here. And he begins again, and Ermaith listens for a while. He nods his head, and he keeps talking, and he says, this area is very dangerous and acts as a border between our world and the elemental plane of fire, and that those who are not equipped and or permitted may find themselves in danger. He says, it seems we can handle ourselves and have a magician, but we should be warned. We're cautious.
All right. So, gosh. I'm not sure how to even ask if he knows for certain that we won't find this there. Because does the ember look like does it look like God, what do you call this? Does it look like technology?
No, it just looks like a little box. But if you showed him an image of the forge, that's likely the technology he's alluding to.
Okay.
Or the foundry. What are you doing?
I kind of do a thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of indicate that we have to go anyway.
Okay. I guess he'll just back up, nod a little quizzically, and fly off. Away he goes.
I don't know how to communicate with him at all. Gosh.
Do you not have tongues? I thought you had tongues.
No, it's part of the big spell that covers our territory.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we've all a little bit spoiled with being able to communicate with everyone.
I did know that, but you said earlier I have tongues, so I thought you meant like as a spell. Otherwise, I wouldn't have just thrown them at you.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
assume the magic man could use magic to communicate with the guy. It's not a crazy
No.
assumption.
It's a fair assumption, actually. And I'm writing it down in my book. Learn how to cast tongue. All right. So are we at the crest of this? Are we at like the
You're a few hundred feet
very top?
down. Cagliari at her height was maybe 200 feet from the summit.
Okay. Let's just keep moving.
110 degrees Fahrenheit.
All
It's
right.
bad. Alright, we're going fully to the summit?
Hey, so what if I?
Uh-huh.
uh,
He's gonna do it. He is going full baby mode.
Run.
He's gonna blow his radiant form so he can just fly.
no, absolutely not. No, no, never that. No, I was like, can I gently ray of frost?
You can probably find a way to ray of frost things and then benefit from the side effect of it without directly ray of frosting yourself. But yes.
I'm trying to be careful because I also don't want to make the ground slippery and people fall to their death.
Yes, of course. Okay. Well, you make your way up the last several hundred feet. This part of the climb is not too bad after you get past the one ledge. But Cagliari is probably the first to get there, and you cannot exactly just look into the lava. It's about 150 degrees up there. Maybe more.
Woo! I don't think I have any sort of heat resistance besides just being extremely hardy.
So, no, it looks like I can't do that, huh?
Cagliari, would you like to roll perception with a disadvantage? 'Cause
Okay.
You are the first to see, but seeing is difficult because you hold your face over it for too long. It starts to hurt fierce.
7.
Nope. It is it is just your eyes are just assaulted up here with a combination of heat and sulfur.
Ow. I am wearing goggles.
Oh.
Goggles of night.
Well then don't roll with disadvantage. What was the first number?
It was the lower one.
Unfortunate. Same deal.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else wanting to go up and take a peek?
At the very top.
Because it goes from about 130 to 150. Just to make that last 30, 20 feet of movement to peer over the edge.
see. Gosh. Peer over the edge is a lot. Can we just try and cool down for a little bit?
By what means?
Well, are we at the top?
I mean, pretty much, you're basically at a 38, 39 degree incline to the top, just kind of bracing yourself on the ledge before the final approach. No ground is flat, but you can at least, anchor yourself on the slope. But, if you're not careful, then you can still fall. There is no flat surface for you to just exist at. You're always on alert at this point. Cagliari's fine. She can pretty much almost move around it like it isn't difficult terrain.
Built different.
Built for this purpose.
Okay, so the point is just to try and look down, right?
If that's what you want to do. If you're trying to see and discover, yeah. But it's just not an easy task in and of itself.
Disadvantage, she said.
It's with disadvantage if your eyes are not protected, yes.
Oh,
Or
can Thaloran look?
if he takes off his blindfold, yeah.
Oh, then
Which he would have to do. He would have done that obviously anyways before. But I mean, he would also have to roll with disadvantage. I can let you not roll with disadvantage if you would like to instead make a Constitution saving throw and a perception roll.
Okay, I'll make the con save.
Okay. Then roll perception and roll a con save.
Jesus, I failed that.
Okay, there will be consequences. Roll perception, please.
Oh my god. I have a +7 to it, and this is what it does. Great.
The dice tell the
God.
story.
10.
Man looks into active volcano. Ends poorly. Alright, with a 10, there is not much useful you can see. As you peer over the edge, first your eyes are just assaulted by the heat and the sulfur, and you struggle to perceive anything. You manage to keep them open for a time. You fight it so that you can see something of worth down there. And you're able to make out a muddy picture of something before you have to pull yourself back from the flames as your eyes seriously begin to hurt and you take 6 points of what is effectively fire damage. What you see as you are dealing with the consequences of now having disadvantage on all perception rolls that rely on sight for the next 10 minutes is in the center of the active volcano is a section of something that is not actively magma. What it is, unknown. A single section of rock that hasn't melted, something created floating above. You are not sure. Cagliari, in her first check, was not able to see anything of note. Her goggles were clouded by the heat that was rising up and nearly melting the plastic, or whatever, whatever it is. Something's not mixing well up here. So far, not much to see.
Do you have like a scrying spell?
I do. It will take us 10 minutes.
10 minutes of hell. All right,
That's
Airman.
why I
Airman
didn't want to.
peeks over.
Okay, I've seen nothing.
All right, he peels back. He just rubs his eyes. Well, there's something down there in the middle of lava. I don't know what. Something.
Wow.
Sort of what I said. Sorry, it's very hot. I'm gonna pour some water out of my water jug, and like kind of use my shape water to make it colder in my hands.
Of course.
And I'm just like holding it to my eyes.
Yup.
I can't see.
There's too much bloody sulfur in the air. Nothing's gonna want to eat us because we smell like sulfur. The spice is irrelevant at this point.
I knew I should have brought Zephyr.
Yeah, Vesper would have just flown right up and seen everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Zephyr might have blown away some of the... Fine. We've got no time for should've, could've's, would've's.
Yeah, we also could have brought our Aarakocra. If we knew ahead of time.
This is quite fast. I apologize, and I kind of reach for Cagliari.
Why are you reaching for me?
I can't see.
Oh. I got you. All right, I'll grab him and help him.
Well, I fear that if there is a fire temple, it may be slightly more obnoxious to reach than the air temple. Granted, this is the summit, so following the trend, the temple would be at the summit. It would be logical. But, you know, Mount Duchess does not have a giant gaping hole of hot stuff in it. So, what are you to do? Unless it's literally on the plane of fire, which I don't particularly feel like visiting. What if it's actually on the plane of fire?
Gather around.
What do you mean,
Gather
gather
them.
around?
Get close to me.
Yeah. Alright. Well, everybody piles in on the ledge.
I'm gonna hold my amulet.
What are you doing?
Well, perhaps you should think about this before I do it. If we do this, we won't be able to get back today.
I'm sorry, do you intend to teleport us to the elemental plane of fire at this present moment?
I think the elemental plane of fire is going to hurt really bad.
I do as well.
I think it's full of fire.
Yes. I would prefer the plane of wind, although even then I don't think I could quite get my footing.
Oh, good. Yeah, good idea. Alright. Ignore me.
It's a good idea. I only have one life.
I nod at Aramaeus, but I'm looking at the wrong person because I can't see.
Of course. So you're looking at Detroit.
Like, you're absolutely right, Aramaeus. Gosh.
I don't know how long it would take to circumnavigate this gaping hellhole, but perhaps the temple is just somewhere else near the summit. I mean, the air temple wasn't hidden by any means, but I could very much see the fire temple remaining not particularly well visited due to the environmental difficulties present, even if it is exposed. But then the Aarakocra would have known something about it, surely.
What if I took 10 minutes
Okay.
and I started preparing Featherfall?
Oh, gosh.
You're going to jump in?
Oh my gosh.
Well, we came all this way.
You're not seriously suggesting jumping into the volcano.
I'll do it.
Fun.
Aramis just starts laughing when Are you all mad? If you could guarantee that while gently falling into the hottest area on Mandril, that if needed, we could teleport back, then perhaps, yes, sure, maybe I could entertain the thought. Perhaps. I would like to remind everyone that the only clues we have as to this temple, and 0 on the foundry, are the stupid poem that doesn't even translate one-to-one to the common tongue of man now, which is "Flame called me home in hearth so bright, God now my heart while gods they fight," which miraculously rhymes somehow. You're welcome. But, oh God, is that telling us to jump? That's not telling us to jump in. That's not what that would mean. Right? Hearth so
In
bright.
hearth so bright?
But they wouldn't. You surely wouldn't just a leap. There's nothing mentioned about a leap of faith, right?
What's the latter half of that poem mean to you?
Well, it's a little confusing, but effectively, the only information we have of that is what the dragons have given us, which is that at the beginning of all things, the real beginning, there was an end. And out of that end, the dragons left the divine order, and which is why we have Mandril. Mandril is the dragon's recreation of what the gods destroyed.
Through all of this, I'm literally casting Ray of Frost straight up into the air.
Yeah, and sprinkling it down so that we're all not dying. Okay, you've brought the temperature down to 90 degrees. I just like to imagine that Ermaith and Cagliari are shouting over Malachi going, "Vlakis! Vlakis!" Gosh. I'm not one to jump into a volcano.
How far down when you were able to grab a look? How far down was it?
Several hundred feet.
Didn't you say 150 when I looked?
I don't know. Did I?
I think you did.
Did I? I have no clue.
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Okay. I don't even remember. I think I was saying that. I thought I said it was like an extra 150 feet to actually get up to the summit. I don't remember telling you because you completely bungled the perception check. You literally saw almost nothing. Your eyes were just assaulted and your goggles blurred, and it was over.
Don't gotta be rude to me.
Sorry.
Sable can polymorph one of us into a fire creature.
He can do that because he is the goat.
Like a gold dragon, perhaps.
I don't think he can do that.
I'm pretty sure he can do that as long as the CR is 10 or less. It just means you might have to be a young gold dragon. What's the CR? Oh no, a young gold dragon CR 12, I think. Nope, a young gold dragon is CR 10. He can turn anyone in the party into a young gold dragon.
Nice.
With immunity to fire damage.
Well,
Aramathiel.
Who's gonna do it?
Detroit?
Wait. Young red dragon that's insane. Yeah, okay, first, young gold dragon would be better because gold is not evil. Well, unless you want to go with the gambit of, I mean, you could do red. All right, I guess I'll have is this being communicated out loud? This is on the table now, right? Fully?
Yeah, I think he's just communicating in chat.
Yeah, I know, because his internet's bad. Okay, cool. So Sable has now presented the idea. Oh, yeah, Sable is presenting this. So, I mean, Ermaith is going to say, all right, well, truth be told, that would be quite fascinating. And I could be convinced to jump into a volcano, but then red or gold is the choice. What if I encounter some manner of creature and I disturb some elementals and the red dragon is accursed? Or what if I find an actual dragon? What if I found an actual dragon down there?
It would probably be red or gold.
And we teleport away.
All right. Are we doing this? Are you actually going to turn me into a dragon and send me into the heart of a volcano?
We'd ride on your back.
Oh, heavens. You don't have fire immunity. You'll all die.
Oh. We're not going. I suppose that makes sense.
One of us has to scout. This seems like a foolproof way of doing so. Relatively.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah?
So, I can alter myself.
You're right. Using the spell Alter Self.
Yes.
Right.
Can I just make myself like fireproof without like completely changing me?
I don't remember the spell super great, so
Yeah. I'll read it out to you because you alter your physical form. So it says you can do change aquatic adaptation, which doesn't count here. Then it says change your appearance.
yeah,
You
or
can
natural
decide which-
weapons.
Yeah, but
Eh.
you can make yourself appear as a member of a different species.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get their immunities. I mean, even Red Dragonborn have fire resistance, not immunity. No.
Yeah, but a fire giant can't fly, so they would have a hard time getting down.
Fire Giant is another option. Sable, I don't think... Can't you only polymorph creatures when you know what the creature is, or know of the creature that you're polymorphing?
I think that's wild shape. I don't know if polymorph has the same restriction.
No, because right.
Oh, it's
okay,
also... It can only be a beast. Polymorph specifically is limited to the beast category. I don't know if that excludes dragons.
it does. Dragon is.
That also
already-
technically means that
the
the
golem.
construct golem would be a no-go. Probably.
Where does it say it has to be a beast?
Well, this is 2024 rules. I can look at the 2024 or 2014 ones.
Yeah, no, that's definitely new because people have been transforming into dragons for years.
Interesting. Then I'm just gonna go old polymorph.
Is beast a specific?
It is.
Mhm.
It is. That's why I was confused, because I was like, I've never read this before. It's 2024.
It might be true polymorph that they're able to turn into like a dragon.
Yeah. It is. They basically just nerfed
No,
polymorph, it looks
they
like.
changed it in 2024. Yeah.
Interesting. I get it. That's cool and all. This campaign was started under 2014 rules. We're running 2014 polymorph.
Yeah, I also think too. It's they were trying to make it so that polymorph is a 4th level spell.
Yeah,
doesn't
I
give you
get it.
access to
I
it.
get it. My ruling is still going to be the same, though. Fire Giant is off the table because very few people even know
we're
what a
not familiar
Fire
with
Giant
it.
is. Sable probably doesn't historically have any foundation for knowing anything about giants. The dwarves are the ones that know about giants.
Mhm.
Very few dwarves know about fire giants. Like, what you just discovered is not at all public knowledge in the slightest. So you've never seen a fire giant. A gold dragon? That's easy. Super easy. Seen pictures of them, read about them. Dragons, yes, easy. Easy peasy. Gold or red dragon? Doable. Fire elemental? Doable.
I still say the young dragon might be best.
Well, pick a color and I suppose I'm willing.
I'd say gold.
I would prefer that. And it must be me. No one else is willing to undergo this, gambit.
I would do it.
Do you wish to?
I mean, you seem really excited about turning into a dragon, but
I am
I mean-
very much excited at that. It's everything else that follows which becomes quite complicated. Flying would be nice. But, I'm not exactly sure, I'm just not exactly sure what it's going to be like. And the stakes are relatively high. I've done my share of adventuring, but, this is new. I just sing songs and occasionally heal people. Or write letters in the sky. Sometimes I
Wait a
forget that,
second.
You people can just do these things.
Wait a second. Okay. What if I turned into a Arrhenius?
Okay. Using.
Oh, what?
Alter self.
Okay, yeah. You still don't take on their immunities.
Really? Because I thought.
I
thought-
just read the spell. You get.
What if I turn
bestial
myself into a
claws.
pickle?
That's not gonna work either. You get bestial claws, the gill thing, or you change your appearance, and that's it. It's very limited.
Is that the 2024 one?
Probably. That's
It
what
is
I've been
as well.
reading. Yeah.
No, 2014 one isn't that different.
Most of the time, I'm reading the 2024 ones at this point to familiarize myself, and until I see something that looks weird, I just go with it.
All it says is none of your statistics change.
Yeah, that includes resistances
No.
and immunities.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because, alright, you can rule it that way. I know Marisha transformed into an Arrhenius in Vox Machina.
Using
and
alter
she-
self?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she was a druid. But
I mean,
if you say no, that's
it,
fine.
It
That's
says,
fine.
here's the problem. It says change appearance. What that's basically it's letting you do a better version of disguise self.
No, because this is transmutation, not disguise. You literally do transform.
Why? Because is disguise self illusory?
Yes.
Okay. It still says change appearance. The word appearance implies a facade level of transformation. Appearance. I mean, look at the heart of what it's saying. Look, height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice, hair length, coloration, distinguishing characteristics. You can make yourself appear. What that's telling
Well,
you
no, that's
is
fine, yeah.
it's making you a facsimile of something else.
So maybe Matt was being generous. Okay.
Which is
That's
which is
fine.
great for him. Love that for him. This is a second level spell. I'm
Which-
letting.
no, I agree. I
You
agree.
you can turn the fact that you can turn a random guy into a young gold dragon is already crazy, and that's just rules as written, a la 2014. I'm fine with that.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Sable, how many times can you cast polymorph?
Oh gosh.
Is it concentration?
I
Oh,
think
shoot, yeah, it is. It is.
So yeah.
Dang it! I should have taken it too, and twinned it. Then 3 of us could go.
Should have taken what, polymorph?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy.
It's fine. Yeah. Whoever's going, I just wanted to go in case there's anything that needs to be translated. Okay. Let's just make a decision. Cagliari?
I'll do it, sure.
If you see anything that requires writing, or actually, I don't know the size of this forge. If you do go there, would a Arrhenius not be better?
I don't know what that is.
We've seen one. We fought one.
Okay.
Demon lady.
The demon lady with wings.
Oh. How do you spell that?
Erinyes.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
The art for the new Arrhenius looks weird. The new art is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't be worse.
She's CR12. You can't do that.
Dang it.
Hater.
She's
Nope.
stronger than
Pay
a
attention
a
to it.
young dragon. Okay.
Oh yeah,
alright.
young dragons are not that strong.
I think Marisha Ray says the
She does. She
says the name.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like she's unsure of how to say it. Monsters.
All right, buddy. Then you go ahead.
Challenge rating less than 10.
I'm searching for fire immunity that our characters would know.
Damage immunity.
Well,
Fire.
Now I'm just curious to follow this thought out because I'm pretty sure what's almost definitely going to happen is Gold Dragon at this point. But
Yeah, I mean that seems like the obvious option.
but I
think
am
it's
curious
fun.
now, for the sake of the thought experiment. What else is there?
And preferably one that can fly.
Well, that's the other huge thing about a dragon. That's, I mean, amazing.
Okay. What the hell is a... Oh, that's a named character. I understand.
Oh yeah, the classic issue of go to Monster Manual and you find Gilgamesh the Floorbobber, and you're like, what?
Bone
it's-
Devil?
And it's from the what? They have fire? Oh, of course, they're a devil. Oh yeah, you could be any manner of devil, probably.
Whoa,
we would
120
have
feet
had
of
to see it, right?
telepathy? Whoa, hold on.
He's just reading stat blocks now. Dear God,
Bone Devil.
too powerful. I like Bone Devils. They're fun.
Have we seen one before?
You have not. You have seen Chain Devil, which was Wormwood Masters. You have seen an unknown fiend in Dagmar Denali. You have seen the Arenyes. I think those are the only
Yeah.
fiends you've interacted with that you
I think
know
it would
of.
have to be the young gold dragon.
Yeah.
Well, Aramaeus can cast Comprehend Languages on Cagliari and send her in.
Ooh. Can he? Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. I just know. He can only do it on himself. I keep forgetting
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I keep forgetting that. For the duration, you understand the meaning. No. Well,
Now, would I be a Legacy Gold Dragon or would I be 2024 Gold Dragon?
gosh, I don't know the difference.
Me
Is there
neither.
a difference? They look... Oh gosh, there might be a difference. What the heck is Weakening Breath? Because I'm just... Like I said, I'm pulling up all the 2024.
Weakening breath is in both.
Okay, then it's probably the same. Hold up for comparison here.
It says claw and bite, and the new one doesn't
Oh,
have
the
that.
new one
It
just has
say-
rend.
says rend,
Okay. Weird.
which is basically
Re-rend.
doing that. Yeah.
Oh, it just does more damage
Mm-hmm.
because it's 2d10 plus 6 instead of... This is weird. Oh, this is weird. 2024
Alright.
stats are weird.
Let's send him in.
All right, we're sending Cagliari.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
All right, she will not be able to translate anything, so if you read stuff,
Woo!
rest in peace.
Oh God. Should I go?
Listen, the reality is, Aramaeus is a great candidate. He's also not a player.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
I am
let's send
volunteering to
Aramis.
jump
That's-
into a volcano
that's the
because
reality.
that's what my character would do.
and honestly, Aramaeus would love to be a dragon, but is not loving the whole jumping into a volcano thing.
So let him fly down. He'll be immune to
We're
fire.
at an impasse.
So here we are.
Yeah, he'll. Aramis is probably the best bet.
Yeah, I can't get comprehend languages as a paladin, so at least not at the level I'm at.
Well, we find ourselves at a strange place. You can send in a player who gets to experience the things at the cost of not being able to read, or you could send it an NPC.
All right.
and
I could go, and I can read everything.
Yeah.
that may be the best bet.
Fine.
If
I'll do
you're
it.
if you're willing to jump into the volcano.
I'll
The
fly
leader of the
into-
revolution.
I'll fly into the volcano.
Sure. So we're turning you into a young gold dragon.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Why are you so upset about that?
Here we go.
By the way, I've been struggling with some blindness. Cagliari, can you do something
Probably
about
been
that?
more than 10 minutes. You're probably fine.
Okay.
It's also
Okay.
probably going to go away once you turn into a YGD. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
YGD.
Okay.
Young
I'm ready.
gold dragon. All right,
Can
well,
I cast in that form?
no. You can do what the stat block does. That's it. So it's
Damn.
going to be a little bit limiting. But they can do a lot. You have the 2024 stat block up?
Mhm.
You can speak Common and Draconic, so and it's a fantastic stat block.
But my Eyes of the Rune Keeper, that should just be like a passive that still happens.
Probably.
think so.
I don't imagine it wouldn't be. Okay. YGD. Well, Sable casts Polymorph on the hillside, and Malachi transforms himself and everything he is currently carrying into a massive creature, small for a dragon, yet quite impressive to everyone on the mountainside.
It's
And-
large, not massive.
Indeed. Well, like I said, massive compared to the rest of you, but yes, in terms of D&D scale,
you know.
large.
You know,
Actually, is that
I
true?
watch-
Are they not
I watch
huge?
my figure. No, they're large.
Oh my gosh, they are large. That actually means you're only like this.
Yeah,
even-
a little bit bigger.
Not even that big. Okay. Well, you're YGD. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Testing out my wings.
All right, roll for me a dexterity check using your
I'll do that.
stats. You got a +2 on that?
Why are you doing this?
Because you have to figure out how to
Why?
use this body.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The golem had such an easy time.
He actually did not. He was crawling on his hands and knees and specifically had trouble hitting anything for a while.
Alright, I'm gonna roll my dexterity and just add 1.
Okay.
13.
All right. You get slowly accustomed to the wings, and while you may not be able to fly gracefully with them, you can certainly descend. And movement in this form on your legs doesn't seem difficult in any way whatsoever. So,
What do I see going down? I'm
Well-
looking around.
hearing down, you can make a fresh perception check at a +9.
I also do have blind sight, so
You do have blind sight at a range of 30 feet, which will not help you see anything down there.
well, I don't know. Anybody in 30 feet, my eyes are on you.
So you have a passive perception of 19. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm not even looking intentionally.
Well, I'll tell you what you see.
Okay, you said +9?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 1. So I'm not even looking intentionally.
I was just going to say use your passive. It's 19. There's no point. Anything that is harder to see than what a 19 would give you, there's no point to use active perception. So that's most obvious things. Down at the center of the basin of magma is a squarish rocky outcropping. It does not appear to be man-made, but it is of particular interest. In fact, it looks somewhat like a perch.
A perch.
A perch.
Okay. Well, I'll perch there.
All right, well, goodbye, Malachi. As you descend, letting your wings slow your descent as they catch as much air as you can get, you find yourself resting atop this rocky outcropping and peering around. At this height, you can see things you couldn't see before around the interior walls that were once hidden by shadow, rising sulfur, smoke, flames. There are caverns within these walls. Particularly, there is one section of a cave that looks rather homely. There are a few small sort of half-wall outcroppings that aren't fully caves, but, you know, you could, again, perch there if you were a smaller creature. There doesn't seem to be explicit signs of life, but there's a cave that is easily big enough for you to just enter.
Okay.
So, you're entering the cave?
I'm gonna call up in Draconic because wait, somebody there speaks. Yep. The next time you hear me like roar, you need to end concentration. I'm coming back up.
Huh?
Okay.
Why would you end
Okay.
concentration?
Oh, that's a fair point.
You do need to get back up as a dragon, theoretically.
Did I go down more than 500 feet?
No, you're like 200 feet down.
Oh,
If you're yelling up in Draconic, it will be heard. Not super audibly, but it will be heard.
okay.
All right. You entering the cave? What are you doing? This isn't what I want. Where's the thing that I want?
Oh shoot. There may have been a fundamental problem with this, but if you're allowing it, we'll do it. Let's do it.
A fundamental problem, he says.
Yeah. ChatGPT says, no, you will not have Eyes of Rune Keeper.
Okay, well, you don't have the Eyes of Runekeeper, so L.
I don't
Huh?
think
Actually-
ChatGPT's right.
Hold on. Is the Eyes of Runekeeper, it's a feat?
It's a class feature.
Oh, well, he doesn't have access to his class features. He's a dragon.
So that's... Yeah, because I wouldn't have come if... it's fine. It's fine. It's all
No.
over.
You'll figure
I
it
don't
out.
know about that.
I know. I don't like it. They said true polymorph, you can. So I'm like, okay, I guess I see the difference, but...
Strange.
We didn't know this. Our characters wouldn't know this. I
No.
love it. Let's go.
All right, cool, great. So you're entering the cave.
Yes, I'm entering the cave.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to draw this because I don't feel like it. As you make your way through the cave, it becomes clear that this is, in fact, inhabited. Armor, shields, other things, eaten away by rust, partially melted. And as you get deeper into the cave, things that are more valuable. Armor and tools that are more pristine. You are approaching a horde.
Oh, good.
Oh God. What kind of horde? Does it look like a dragon horde?
Roll history.
With advantage because it's dragons?
Sure, buddy. Why not?
Okay. Because, I know about dragon. This is not good. This is not good. Lord, why they doing this to me? Who the hell is... Y'all is really testing me on some stuff. 15.
No. This looks like a trash pile. It is a horde of trash. Bent shields, swords, things that have been devoured, so to speak, in some manner, or discarded.
Can I stealth?
You can certainly try. Roll, well, never mind. You have a +6 to stealth, so you go right ahead, buddy.
14.
14. Okay, could be better, could be worse. All right. As you begin making your way through the cave, it opens up a little further. It gets not quite as hot, but the temperature doesn't really go down. At this point, though, it doesn't really affect you. All the heat just flows off of your scales, and you are having no issues. You do, however, begin to realize that this is somebody's house. because at some point you get past the cave, and now there are pillars lining the walls. You are now in a grand foyer of sorts, with a room to the back, to the left, and to the right. And you have just passed the recycling. You stand in an empty chamber filled with this warm hue of stone, and very little to go off of other than the doorways, which are guarded by these deep red curtains. What lies behind each doorway is, of course, unknown.
What am I picking up with my blind sight?
Nothing that you can't physically see. The detail of the ground reveals that it is well trodden and quite flat. This section of the cave has been worked on, but there are no further details to be gleaned from that. Your dark vision is revealing most of what you need to know.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna peek my head in
Into
somewhere. Anywhere?
somewhere being where?
The first, goodness, the first one, the first room.
All right, so you'll have. Oh crap! I'll make you a left and a right, because I don't know if you like drawing this out. So first meaning left, north, or right.
Left.
All right. As you peek your head through the red curtain here, you are greeted with what appears to be a large chasm going down and down and down into total darkness.
Mm. Can I go and look down the tunnel? See how far I can.
And you will have to crawl your way down the tunnel to see any further. It goes beyond your dark vision.
Alright, before I do that, I'll go back and go into behind another curtain.
Which curtain?
North.
All right. Something immediately roars to life the second that you enter through this curtain, and you hear a booming voice say, "Who goes there?" In Draconic.
In Draconic, I say, "Just a young one."
I have no kin. Whose are you?
I am not sure.
Quick time event.
Not sure. Roll persuasion for me.
Dang it, with its stats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, so that's plus. Okay. Okay. It's not bad. Plus 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright.
What do we got?
A 10.
Okay, cool. You stand in what appears to be the first of many more rooms, a main chamber. Not a foyer, but maybe what you could call a dining room. There are some bones in the corner that appear to have been relegated to a specific section. You find that this place is quite tidy overall, and things are zoned out with a specific purpose. In the center is a quote-unquote dining table, which is a large slab of circular stone. To your right is a pile of small animal carcasses, appearing to be various bones, either from large birds or other large livestock, deer, cows perhaps, uncertain. And then there are shelves on either side, again engraved straight into the stone of this round table, containing a few items of interest, the likes of which you do not quite yet get to study, before rearing from the end of this hallway, or the end of this room, is a rather large, somewhat presumably ancient gold dragon, who seems to contextualize the grandiose scale of this architecture much more. The rooms are quite large because they're designed for him, and he is double your size, if not larger. And he enters and stares you down, trying to suss you out.
In Draconic, I will say, my apologies for the intrusion. I come here on the behest of others. And if you would be so kind as to help me, I will leave immediately.
What do you seek, child?
I seek an ember.
He raises his dragon eyebrow.
It was an artifact used by those who once occupied this space. And I start describing it like the cube-like, orange, red, glowing thing.
Okay. Okay. How know you of these embers?
And I say, can I be honest with you, Great One?
He nods.
I am not truly one of your kin in the manner of which I appear, but I am still of your kin, at least distantly.
He eyes you up real close like. And he's a little confused for a time.
Does he have true sight?
Well, first of all, I'm not entitled to tell you that.
I know, yeah.
He's trying to get what you're saying without saying it, and he says, "You are a wizard or sorcerer, draconic sorcerer."
I, indeed, and one of my compatriots has changed me into this because
You
I am
could
not
not
like you.
access the depths.
I am afraid I am not like you, Great One.
Well, you have
And the
done
one-
well to make your way here. I imagine I have been asleep for quite some time. It has been
I
a while
was not
since
aware.
anyone has made a house call. A most
I
pleasant
imagine-
surprise. He just keeps talking over you.
I imagine it is because we were unaware that you were here, and if we had known, perhaps this might have.
It
taken
is
place
best
sooner.
that most do not know of my location.
And then I say to him, I am Malachi de Lumiere, a name that may not be relevant to you, but I am a descendant of Lucinius, the
Lucinius.
Silver Dragon.
I can
Yes.
derive from the etymology. So what does one sharing blood with Licinius do at such a time of this and such a place as this?
Much has transpired, Great One. And this island is in no small amount of turmoil.
I have avoided much of it.
And it would be wise if we could do the same, but unfortunately, that is not the situation for me or for my men.
It is not your duty. Licinius took up the mantle all those years ago, and you inherited it. I made no such grandiose stakes in the world. My stake is humble. But I am not opposed to helping one of Licinius's kin. I can tell that you do not lie to me, and you possess great power to make it here on your own or with the help of others.
I have found that great power is often not just personal, it is those with whom you surround yourself.
The Dragon Wars revealed this to be true. Very few of my kin survived, and it was due to the vast quantity at which the plague that was Durango's lieges spread their seed. We made that fatal mistake. I made that fatal mistake. Tell me, have you seen many of my spawn? Not dragons proper, but dragonborn. How do they fare? Very few have reported back to me.
I have not seen many, and truthfully, I have seen more impersonating gold than I've actually seen gold.
Most dreadful. I'm sure it's an interesting world you inhabit. I have no interest in it, but I am happy to assist. This ember you seek, I am in possession of, and I could part with it easily. But
What would you ask in return, Great One?
something of value. Perhaps you would like to see my collection.
I would.
Come. Alright, and he turns down a side hall and begins performing some kind of magic that appears to be de-escalating the alarms, one of which you set off at the door, and your mind throws you for a loop for a second. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. What he got? +5. It's a 9.
It's 9. Okay. You are bewildered as everything around you seems to become muddied. Your vision becomes somewhat cloudy. Rocks seem to shift. You feel like some form of illusion magic is being performed, but before you know it, as your vision clears, you're standing as yourself, and he's standing as a human, and you're no longer in a cave. You're in a mansion. And he just appears to be a rather old man in a black and gold robe with a long sort of Chinese-style mustache. He does appear to be vaguely Asian, which means in the canon of this guy is from Guardian, where most gold dragons hail from.
Great One.
Yes.
Is it possible? I don't know if it's possible for you to make it so that I could stand the heat outside of this form.
Let's circle back to that.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's stick with Great One. Very few should know my name or my purpose. Let's leave it there for now. My collection. And he opens a gilded door, sort of a beautiful black glaze of some kind of stone or perhaps metal, the way that it shines. It has some kind of coating on it, and this gold trim. And he opens to a massive hallway of magical items. Historical artifacts behind these solid white pillars on dark burgundy pillows with gold trim, held behind these ornate glass display cases with item descriptions written in Draconic. And he begins walking along and he says, "It is very rare that anything from this collection leaves its mantle. This is filled with items of power that have been sealed, taken from great heroes, artifacts from the Dragon Wars, spanning to now, the creation of giants and of dwarves. The ember you seek is from a forge that I am now essentially stewarding its remains. I do have an ember in my collection. It is my last and has been preserved and is likely functional should you find a dwarven smith who carries the knowledge with him to this day." And he stops at the ember, and it is exactly like the dwarf described. It is a simple little stone box with a center that has a red pit and a gem inside, and it just looks like a little trinket. And as he pulls it out of the glass case and hands it to you, you notice faded on the edges are runic inscriptions. And he begins speaking, and he says, "These runes were passed down from the fire giants to the dwarves to teach them how to forge. Many of those giants now live on the island that you humans are calling Forge and are still practicing crafts similar to this to this day. The magic items that you can create with something like this can rival some of the better pieces in my collection. Given that Lucinius sent you in a manner of speaking, I trust that you will do well with it. All I ask is that at some point you return and offer something of interest to you for this collection. Now, in terms of dealing with the heat, I do not possess such an ability, but there is a temple in which, should you find yourself in the graces of its guardians, they could equip you with such abilities."
Do you speak of the Temple of Water?
No, the Temple of Fire.
Oh, wait, yes. You know where that is.
I know
Of course
where,
you do.
I know where all the temples are, my son.
It has been.
There when they were founded.
It is part of the current goal of our group to seek them out.
Well, some are more difficult to reach than others, and there are rules regarding their discovery that I am not allowed to interfere with. They are not my domain. But I can tell you, the Temple of Water exists on the Isle of Cassitus, the Temple of Air on what you call Mount Duchess, The fire temple here, guarded by ones you will have to ascertain the location from. And the Temple of Earth, somewhere with the elves, should they still be inhabiting Kyril.
That is actually where we find ourselves presently. The Kyril.
Of course. Did you fly here?
No, in my true form. And I wish I could be my true form before you.
For reference, in whatever this facsimile is, you're kind of a nondescript version of you because he doesn't know what you look like. It's almost like he's showing you. Before I tell, why don't you roll Arcana actually? Before I just spill all the beans.
Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence check. Okay. You know the rolls ain't good, so let's keep on rolling badly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 7.
You don't really know what's going on. You're a version of yourself, but you're not you. You have a vaguely human form that he's projecting onto you, and everything you're experiencing is a massive illusion. You don't know actually where you are in his cavern, where his real collection is. It seems that what he's showing you is real, and he's not being inauthentic, but he is extremely protective of his hoard, his wealth, and his identity. So he has roped you into a dream-like state to communicate this information to you.
That is all fine. I shall return at some point. But thank you.
It goes without saying, but I will say it anyway, as that has not stopped foolish men from finding themselves as abusers. This is an item of great power, and likewise should be wielded wisely. Anything you use, crafted from this item, you are morally responsible for all of it. I have given you this ability. You are its steward. Steward it well.
I will. Before I leave, would it be possible to return from time to time?
From time to time?
There is much I would like to learn from you.
Oh, I thought you spoke of traveling between times. Oh, that is very simple. Yes, you could come over for dinner anytime. As long as you can make it back here.
And in exchange, well, not in exchange, I will not reveal the secret of where you are.
You would be unwise to do so even if you tried, but I trust you are a smarter man than that.
Yeah, I just nod and put out my hands and say, "Money, please."
He gives you the ember.
Okay.
Well, this has been a most interesting awakening. I suspect we will have time to talk more in the future, but for now, I believe you should attend to your business.
I wouldn't want to. You have stated so yourself that this is not your call, and this is not the mandate you have taken. But please be aware that there are still, well, my friends and I have slain 3 black dragons, and there are more out there. There's also, I believe it's Durango himself, perhaps, who seems intent on murdering my friends and I.
Unsurprising. He is a relentless one. I will say this. Do not think that though I sit in my cave, I am ignorant to the transgressions which transpire on the surface. Know that there are battles being fought beyond what your mortal eyes can see, of which I am the steward. Lucinius and Marilius are concerned with the physical, and the physical is important. But there are things beyond that few could even hope to see. Battles fought and wars waged in realms unknown to the common man. And they too require protection and justice. And there are many things that man should not have the privilege of knowing. At least not at this present time.
I imagine, for I am a man burdened with knowledge. I have been touched by a spark of the celestial. It flows in my mother's veins, and so I have, whether I've liked it or not, been privy to some of the machinations of beings beyond. And so I understand when you say this. And rest assured, I understand that your absence here does not mean that you are ignorant or that you are uncaring of what is going on. I bid you farewell.
May you succeed in your endeavors, should you find yourself on the right side of Bahamut's grace.
Say Bahamut be with you.
He nods. You find yourself standing at the entrance of what I called the recycling, which you now understand are consumed, destroyed, and eaten magic items. And around your neck, on a chain, is the ember. And you are facing the volcano. Exterior.
Okay. I head back and then fly up.
Okay, cool. You find the crew probably not having a great time in the heat. Why did I just delete you? You're gonna come back like immediately.
Ah, a dragon!
I start to make fire flicker in my jaws,
Okay.
like I'm charging up a fire blast.
Roll
And then I
performance.
start. Okay. Wow. What was that? Charisma 5. Okay. Terrible. It's terrible. I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Oh, so this is good. 21.
He's about to kill you.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna assume that Sable immediately drops concentration, and he turns back into Malachi, and then he just pops.
I was
Malachi
joking. I was joking. It was a joke. It was a joke. Is my neck kind of weighed down now by the ember?
No, it's not particularly heavy.
Okay, because I just know it was around my neck as a dragon, so I was like, how big is it?
You have, it's probably like 4 inches by 4 inches, and it's a cube with a hollow center. That's it. It's like a little box.
Oh.
Well, what happened?
I've got the ember. Now, you all look worse for the wear. Let's head
What? How did? You were only gone for 45 minutes.
I will tell you all about it, but not here. Let's leave.
Oh, okay. Well, very well. No complaints from me. All right, let's get out of this hellhole.
And I'll use the amulet to
All right.
teleport us back to the teleportation circle.
And shaboom! You return to camp. No worse for the wear. Very few spell slots used in the center of the teleportation circle. And oh my goodness, it is so much nicer here. There's a breeze. It doesn't smell like sulfur. Your nose isn't on fire and your eyes aren't watering from all of the sulfur anymore, which is what was happening to everybody there. You're still sweating, like drenched in sweat. But man, feels great. It's great out here. All right, well, that's it. Welcome home.
I will tell them that I met a guardian who I swore not to reveal too much about.
Uh-huh. And this guardian just gave you the thing we specifically came to get and no strings attached?
I have to at some point give him something that is valuable to me.
You didn't sign a contract, right?
No, but I want to honor the request.
Yes, I'm just making sure. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't. Just had to cover the base that you're not a warlock or anything stupid like that, and we didn't make a deal with the devil or some pit fiend or...
Aramaeus. I make my I make my sword appear in my hand. I'm like,
what?
We're past that.
I figured I just had to be safe. It's just, you know, you went in as a dragon and came out as a dragon with a thing, and it's well, I'm most thrilled, but I must say I'm a little disappointed at the fact that I won't exactly be able to write about this in my chronology. I have very little to go off of.
I can give you some details of what happened, but I do want the identity secured. And as well, I don't want the... We must not mention the location either. If possible.
All right.
Yeah, it's probably best if you just don't write about it.
But we didn't even find the temple. Did we? Did you find the temple?
Oh, yeah. Did you find the temple?
He told me where they all were. Yes.
The Guardian told you where all of the temples are. So you
That's
know
great.
where the Temple of Fire is, specifically.
Maybe not that one. I don't remember. Malachi might remember if he did say it.
He said that it wasn't his to disclose, but there were guardians in the area around Uprisma that could guide you to it.
Okay, yes. So I'll reveal that. And then it seems the Temple of Water is on Cassitus.
Oh, dreadful place. Apparently they're having quite a time of political instability.
And there is the... of course you know about the Air Temple on Mount Duchess, and it seems my wife was correct when she said that she sensed the power of the Earth Temple not too far from here. It seems to be in the Chiral Plateau itself.
Huh, well, that's convenient. Well, this certainly was not a waste of time in the slightest. It was in fact quite productive, just not in the ways I envisioned. I don't think this is going to make for a thrilling novella.
No, but you do now have everything you need to describe what it's like to walk up an active volcano.
I do. This is a good bar story. Yes. Or perhaps part of a set of elaborate stand-up. I have material, I just have to figure out exactly what form it's going to take. Well, I suppose thank you for the invite, and, I'm going to go find something to eat. I am quite famished and sweaty and dripping wet and exhausted. My eyes hurt. So, good day.
Good.
And then he walked
right.
away.
Cool. Guess we run the ember over to the blacksmith now?
You can do
Mhm.
that. It's in your hands. You specifically can do it. As you make your way there, you are quickly greeted by Griogar McAdam, Grouder, who says, General de Lumiere! Oh my. Well, that was fast. Are you going to hand it to him?
Um,
Because I'm assuming it's still around your neck and he just immediately spots it.
I take it off my neck and I look at it. What do the runes say?
Oh, Eyes of the Rune Keeper?
Uh-huh.
What do the runes say? Most curiously, the runes. Flame, call me home, in hearth so bright, guard now my heart, while gods they fight.
And I say, I was entrusted this. And so we must ensure that whatever we create and however we use this is with the utmost responsibility.
He nods solemnly.
This is not a mere tool, but we are now stewards. And I know that you understand that.
He nods.
Very good.
I didn't think you'd actually find one. I mean, I thought they were all gone, or in Faramane, or didn't exist anymore. This thing looks ancient. I mean,
I imagine.
I've seen some of these
imagine
before,
you've traveled with us
but
long enough.
I've never manufactured one, and this is 1,000 years old. I'm an old man. That's 4 times my age.
I imagine you've traveled with us long enough to know that very, very often the impossible happens.
Clearly. You can accomplish a lot more in a workday than Xerxes can, I'll say that. Well, I think it's time to figure out how to integrate this into our architecture. Big plans.
Sure.
General?
I know of a certain Dragonborn who would be thrilled to know of this development.
She's in the room.
Oh, shoot, go ahead.
Just off screen, out of frame.
Malka's like, oh, hey, girl.
Of course.
Indraconic.
Of course. Well, speaking of someone who's going to be excited by this development, oh, he's probably on the map. I can just go grab him. Is he on the map?
Steward.
Where? No. I mean, yes. I guess he'll probably come along with Osnek. That's a good point, because he'll be curious. But Osnek is going to enter and go, Ah, Malachi, I was told you would be here. Exciting things. I can't believe you actually found it. And so quickly. Stuart immediately goes, may I peruse? I'm most curious to see if this truly is authentic. It's quite a discovery. He goes, yes. Would you allow him to just take a look? He's very excited. You look at Stuart. His face is stone cold. No emotion whatsoever.
He wants to touch that thing so bad. You can see it.
Yeah,
You can
he
see
does.
it.
He really does. He's not showing it, but he's showing it in a Stuart way. Yes, I would like to inspect the artifact if it was possible. If not, it's no trouble. Just some logistics to run by. Yes.
I look at Graja and
He shrugs.
Can you study it here?
Oh, yes, of course.
It's best kept.
Best what?
It's best kept with Groja here.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, very well. I'm just very, very curious to see the manufacture of such a thing. Yes. And he begins approaching it with a magnifying glass and looking at. Osnek, on the other hand, immediately goes over to Malachi and goes, "So, you know how before you left I discussed some elemental systems with you, yes?" Before he left, he gave you an overview of elemental planes, make sure you were brushed up, ready if you encountered any elementals, blah, blah, blah. That happened. I'm just saying it happened. And he goes, well, with this little device, I consulted Graja in your absence, and I do believe that we could make some myrmidons. Should we get the right armor, which would be difficult, but very possible with such an ember, we could very much get some myrmidons.
Myrmidons.
If you are acquainted with such creatures.
I've heard of them in my reading.
Yes. I've never been able to make one. Surprisingly, the most difficult part is the armor. Conjuring an elemental, of course, is elementary. Anyways,
Ooh.
we could easily produce one. Should we be able to utilize this ember and Stuart's assistance, I think we could get something of a small army going. And when I mean a small army, I am not kidding.
Okay. We must just be responsible with whatever we create.
Yes, of course. Responsible. Yes.
No, I stare at him.
Yes, I understand.
Good.
I do. What's your passive insight?
16.
He is very excited at the prospect. I need you to roll history for me. Because otherwise I can't really give you any more.
History?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10 for me, bub. Nope. It's a 6 for me, bub.
Okay.
Rolling like crap today.
Roll religion instead.
Okay. It's gonna be the same thing.
Maybe.
13.
Okay. You're missing something. That's all I'm going to say. You just get the feeling you're missing something.
But I did pick up that like he's almost like too excited about this.
I'm not saying any more other than you're missing something.
What is it? Something that like Rainey would pick up on?
Nope. Otherwise, I would have clued the other characters in. This is kind of something only Malachi can know. Well, first he failed the history check. This is based on the religion check. Because the history check actually would have given specific useful information, but he bungled it. The religion check was also not good.
Okay.
But a sixth sense was activated.
About what specifically?
Good question.
No, I meant like what part of that conversation set off the sixth sense?
That's a great question.
Okay.
He rolled a 13.
Tell you. He's not gonna tell you.
I'm not.
No.
I was reading something while you were having that conversation, so I missed the part where you had to start rolling.
Nah, that's fine.
He secretly prefers that.
I do secretly prefer that because it supports my agenda. My woke agenda. That's right, Perry P. Winifred, you fool. I'm going woke. You can't stop me. Yeah.
So now that we have the ember, what can we like start making stuff, or are we?
You still need raw materials, but you have what you need to make magic items within like a week.
Cool.
You need physical raw materials. Like you need iron, You need charcoal, which you can get. It's not ideal, but you can burn it. And you have a reliable source of wood, as long as you don't start really trimming up a lumber mill. But they've given you a good amount of wood to get started. But you ideally need to find coal deposits, and you need to find real, actual, usable, raw metal somewhere. Then you can literally build an army of constructs.
I have the artificer feature where I can replicate magic item.
Mm-hmm.
I can make sending stones.
Mm-hmm.
Would that let me fast track to making real sending stones? Because these ones only exist as long as I have them slotted. They'll stop working if I
with
stop.
your infusions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to assume that with Steward's assistance, you can start manufacturing sending stones.
Nice.
But
Now,
what if I want her to work on
he wants the earring.
earrings.
The earring. You should actually be rolling for that. Because
Who?
Rainy.
Rainy, yeah.
Because those require so little in raw material, but a lot in precision manufacturing. In which case, what's your tool of choice with this? What would this be? Actually, are you proficient with jeweler's tools?
I have leatherworkers, smiths, and tinkers.
You need jewelers because you're making earrings.
Hold on, but doesn't he have right tool for the job?
I'm pretty sure he will.
I can create them.
But you're not proficient with them?
Thin air, but I'm not. Well, hold on.
Yeah, double check, because that'll be actually particularly relevant.
Yeah, I'm not proficient with them. I feel like I probably have a way to gain proficiency with a tool, but
there might be people you can recruit. I don't know if anyone's going to be proficient with jeweler's tools, though.
Is he sure?
I don't think you have jewelers in the camp. You know, Smith, Cook Wainwright, Vanna would make me. Yeah, nope.
Vanna ain't about it like that.
No, she's it's hard to explain. She's not like a pauper, but she's not uber rich girl either. So she's a skilled tradesman, but it's in a rather humble trade compared to a jeweler or a member of a renowned stonemasons guild, for example. It's a little different. I mean, you can roll using them. You just won't be able to add your proficiency for the check, which means I'm going to need 2 rolls from Rainy. I'm going to need Arcana and then a roll with the jeweler's tools.
I think for the tools, it's just intelligence.
I believe that's correct.
Okay.
DC for the jeweler's tools is a cool 15. DC for the Arcana is a cool 20.
I got a 22 on the Arcana.
Okay, well, you're good
Let me
on the
roll the
magical
tools.
side with Steward's assistance, who brought the DC down from a 25.
I only got a 9 on the tools.
That is tragic. These earrings are busted and ugly.
God.
He cannot wear these to a gala. They work. they fully work, but
Proof
they
of
won't
concept.
work with it. Exactly. They won't work with his outfit. So you have 2 choices. You can either dump these or reset their magic. You try to redo, get a new pair of physical earrings and then do the same magic again, because otherwise this magic is bound to these earrings and they're just not good. Or maybe you could attempt to repair them so you don't have to reattempt another Arcana check.
I'm better at Arcana than I am at using tools.
So it's just easier to start over?
I guess so.
Okay, then go ahead, start over. This time maybe start with the jeweler's tools. That way, you have a proof of concept. You know you can
14.
get it functioning. Sword's giving you advantage.
Okay.
Can
Last-ditch effort.
somebody
And
guide him?
Oh,
Can
this
somebody
is,
guide him?
this is hilarious.
I can't roll. I'm rolling. I've rolled 3 times in a row less than 10.
What this means is
Welcome to my world.
the deadline for getting these earrings in is ideally before Ravenna's birthday, which is in a week. We're really going to struggle to meet this deadline now. You have a working proof of concept pair of earrings. In order to get another working one, it's looking like, let's see, we've done 3 attempts, 2 days per, starting on Wednesday. This was today. Saturday, Sunday. The earliest you could get the earrings to him now, if everything goes right, is Tuesday, which is 3 days before the ball, and everything has to go right.
Okay.
Now, due to the importance of this, Sage will give you guidance. There is no one else in the camp that is qualified to work with jeweler's tools. You are not proficient with them yet. You've gotten a little bit better. You get a +1 based on the experience you've gained with the jeweler's tools, and you're working towards a proficiency. Where you have a +1 to your roll. You have a plus D4 for guidance. DC 15. Make the earrings.
Okay. Do I have anything that's... No. Hold on. Just a second. No, hold on. I'm not proficient. Stop. Stop. Stop.
No.
Oh, nat 20.
There
I didn't even
you
need the guidance.
go. Congratulations. With a natural 20, you are now proficient with jeweler's tools.
Yay!
You finally got the hang of it. You have delivered an ornate pair of earrings, and you have spent a lot of resources. Well, actually, you haven't spent that much because you only enchanted the one. You do need to make another Arcana check at the DC 20. Every failure will push the delivery date back a day.
Can I use my guidance on this?
Yes,
All right. What is that, a D4?
it is a D4.
All right, 50-50 shot here. Okay, well, I got an
blown.
18 total.
Too short. Okay, moving on. This is pushing for a Wednesday delivery date.
Another Arcana check?
Another Arcana check for a Wednesday delivery date for these earrings.
No! No!
All right, another Arcana check for a Thursday delivery date, the day before the ball.
23.
Congratulations. Malachi will have a pair of sending earrings on Thursday.
Yay!
I'm just going to put that in here. Sending earrings on Thursday.
Cutting it a little close there, Chief.
This is an imprecise art, okay?
No, I understand.
I like
understand.
how they nailed the spell, and the hardest part was making the earrings because nobody in the camp is a jeweler or an artisan. So it makes so much sense though, because magic is just another skill that you can have an expertise in, but being a good jeweler is still hard. So that's funny. That's also the first time anyone in any campaign I've been in or seen has ever used jeweler's tools, ever. So
That makes sense.
we made history today.
Well, I have another tool proficiency.
Congratulations. Okay.
Which is
I
very
don't-
good for an artificer.
I don't know why in my mind I just started. My mind immediately went to the Living Tombstone. He actually ruined that song for me. That's crazy.
What song?
That's the Five Nights at Freddy's intro. Uses that motif from that.
Toreador March.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So it's ruined for me forever. All right. Well, on that note, that's all we have for this session, featuring 2.5 of our 5 players. So, yeah, we're getting out of here. I'm stopping the recording. Okay, bye.